welcome back. This is Patty Bennett with PattyStamps.com. I'm so glad you've joined me for another video tutorial. I would like to share with you this card and how I made this banner. This is a card that I was making to take to our Stampin' Up! Convention next week. This is my box of swaps that I have of this particular design. You can see they're all ready to go. You've probably heard me talk about swaps before. That simply means that I made several of one card and I'm taking it to an event to trade with other demonstrators, so they will make cards and they will trade with me, and then I get lots of fun ideas. So I thought this might be helpful for you to see how to make this layered banner. This is the Stampin' Up! Banner Triple Punch, and I used this. I'm going to show you how I did it. When you use a Stampin' Up! Punch, you always want to make sure that you slide to unlock, and that opens up this part so that it allows you to slip the paper in to punch. So make sure you do that first. This particular punch punches a 1-inch, a 1.5 inch, and a 2-inch wide strip of paper to make a banner. When you're ready to use your punch, you'll take either your 1-inch wide, your 1.5 or 2-inch wide strip and slip it in. So this is the 1-inch piece. It goes right in the middle slot. You just press down and you get a perfect little banner end. So here's the 1.5. It just goes in the middle slot. And then the 2-inch. There, just gotta make sure you get it in straight because I was kind of going at an angle. Okay, so there are my 3 terrific banner ends. And you can see if they're layered, they make these 1/4 inch graduated layers. I wanted to have a little bit smaller. Do you see on this one I only have 1/8 of an inch. So here's what I did. Instead of cutting my pieces in 1/2 inch increments, this is my 1-inch, I only cut this one to 1.25. You can see there that it's a 1/4 inch wider and a 1/4 inch longer, and that's going to make this nice layer here. I actually punched them together. So I just slid it like this so that this white piece was centered in my 1.25 inch Daffodil Delight piece. And then when I put it in, there isn't a groove here for 1.25. You see I'm kind of hovering in between the 1.5 inch slot. So I put it in between, tried my best to center it between the 1.5 inch slot. And it'll help if you look straight down onto your punch, by the way. I punched them together, and then when you slide this one back, you have that perfect 1/8 inch border all the way around instead of, let me show you the difference here, instead of these 1/4 inch layers, you have an 1/8 inch layer. So that's how I did that. And what I just love about this is that it solves the problem of only being able to do these 3 sizes. You really can do any size in here up to 2 inches wide, as long as you're very careful just to keep it centered as you put it in. And I knew I wanted to use these great wooden elements on my little banner here, so the 1-inch was perfect for that. And I just centered it on there. I attached it with the Tombow multi-purpose glue, and I stapled right here with our little handheld stapler. I stapled the banners on, as well as I added a little glue underneath down here on this end just to keep it from wiggling at all. But that's how I did those smaller layers rather than the 1/4 inch layer. So I hope that gives you a few more options for using your punch. I love it when we can use things in more than one way and solve a problem. If you enjoyed that, be sure to give me a thumbs up below on this video on YouTube. You can leave me a comment, you can subscribe right up here to my YouTube channel, and I hope that you'll visit me right up here at PattyStamps.com if you're looking at this video on YouTube. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you next time.